I'm 22 years old and my current club is Calder Utd, but I also have just come off the back of my first Melbourne Victory season. I am a central midfielder, predominantly defensive central midfielder. So I began playing soccer when I was 5 years old. My dad and my brothers were major influences on me. My dad played soccer growing up his whole life. He played it, and therefore my two older brothers played it, and I was that younger kid who anything my brothers could do, I wanted to do it better. So we were very competitive. So I straight away got into soccer, played with the boys for a couple of years until I was about 10 years old. Then my dad started coaching my local Sandringham under 10 soccer team. And so I played with them for a couple of years, absolutely loved it, got all my school friends in the team. It was honestly just the best time, and we had, a good rivalry with Brighton Soccer Club and all of that. Then a couple years later, I ended up going back to play with boys. I wanted to take soccer a little bit more seriously, and I really wanted to just become a better competitor, just become more fierce and more aggressive, and that constituted the move to go back to boys for 2 years under Rob Gibardo, who really helped me, really brought another level to my game. And from there I had my first stint with NTC, so it was about the equivalent of what junior NTC is right now. So I played with them for 1 year and I just absolutely adored it. There was a real focus on technicality, and just being able to train every day was a dream for me. I just absolutely love the sport, and being able to play it every day was just amazing for me. So it was really far away, and I often had to take a bus straight after school to go to training, which was over an hour bus ride. But again, I just loved it and got to play in national competitions, and it was fantastic. So throughout all my junior years, I was really lucky, really lucky. Then the following year I trialled for the senior NTC, and I didn't get in. And being 15 or 16 at the time, it was challenging and it was hard, and I'd never got a knock down quite like that. And it was challenging to get back up at the time, but I think it made me stronger, and it showed me how much I really want to keep improving my game and make it to that next level. So it pushed me. So I went back to Sandringham and played with the senior women over there for 2 years, which was a challenge in itself because the game was very different. It turned from being a really technical game with the NTC girls to becoming really physical and really tactical. And again, I think everything happens for a reason. I think I was meant to be there and meant to improve those elements in my game. And then the NPL system came in, so I had my first stint my first year was at Bayside United, where we didn't have the most successful season, but it was personally a really good season for me, actually. And after that season I got my first trials with Melbourne Victory and Melbourne City, and I just thought, wow, this is it, this is the opportunity. I was so excited. I was 18, just turned 18, and I trialled for them and I didn't get in. And again, I was disappointed. I thought that was my chance because I'd watched the W League for years, and I saw that it was always the girls who, were 17, 18, 19. That's when you had to make it. That's when your chance was, and that you would get to that next level. So I was disappointed. But again, I loved the sport that much that there was no doubt in my mind that I didn't want to play the sport anymore, or I didn't want to keep challenging myself and getting better. Nothing like that ever crossed my mind. So after that, I had a couple offers from a couple other clubs, and Mark Torcazo, the charming man that he is, convinced me to come to Calder, and I have never looked back. It was incredible. They have taught me so much. The training there is so intense. The vibe it's a whole community, that they're literally family to me. And I'm just about to start my 4th season with them. So it's been a long journey, but a great one. And last season especially was a massive highlight in that we won almost everything possible that you can win, and I also got to captain the side. So it was just great leaps in my career. And then at the end of that, toward the end of the season, I got a message asking to trial for Melbourne Victory, and I burst into tears. I thought my time had gone. I never thought that I would get another opportunity to trial again to get into W League, and it came. And the overwhelming sense of joy was, it was insane, and I was so happy, and happy tears, of course. So I ended up trialling for Melbourne Victory, and I was actually injured for the first 3-4 weeks of trials, which I thought this is my last chance, and again there's something in the way. But anyway, managed to get back on track with the Victory staff. They helped me recover, and I managed to trial for the last week or 2 weeks, and at the end of that they offered me a contract. And again, may have shed a few tears, but I was overwhelmed and overjoyed, and I knew that I'd worked so hard for it, and I couldn't have done it without Calder and just all the coaches that I've had in my family. So Victory happened, and straight away we were training 5-6 times a week, 2 gym sessions a week. It was a lot, and we were traveling, and our first competition was the AFC Champions, so the Asian Football Cup Championship, and we got to travel to South Korea and play the best of China, Japan and Korea. And being my rookie season, I didn't expect much game time or anything like that, but I ended up playing 2 full games and 1 half game, which was unbelievable. That very first game, I remember I was on the bench for the first game, and one of our midfielders unfortunately got injured, and I got the call up to go into the pitch. And we have heart rate monitors which monitor how far we run and all that type of thing, and apparently my heartbeat was just through the roof. I was don't think I've ever been so nervous in my whole entire life. But anyway, got on the pitch, and you make your first pass, your second pass, your first tackle, and you're like, I've been playing this sport for years, I can do this. And you just slot right in, and it was an unbelievable experience. I can't tell you. Just being able to have that opportunity and to learn and to see how we compare to the other, successful champions in other countries is amazing. It was a global opportunity, and I took it with both hands. I absolutely loved it and learnt a lot. And then, we got back to Australia and kept training, and just had a really magical time learning and absorbing as much as I could, and really just pushing to get better. At the end of the day, my love for the sport is what drives me. I love it so much that I want to work hard, and I want to rock up to training and give 100%. And if I'm not picked for the team, that's fine. I put a smile on my face and I work even harder. So I just think, for any young aspiring athletes out there, firstly, I just would love to say that you need to make sure that the sole reason that you're playing the sport and that you want to push to keep achieving more is because you love it. And if it's that love that has to drive everything you do. And secondly is listen to your coaches. If you think that you already know it all, you're not going to grow. If you need to listen to every advice that you get, regardless, some advice obviously isn't always going to be the best, but if you keep learning and listening, you're going to grow and you're going to develop into a more versatile player that can adapt to any situation, and all of that. So I've had a pretty amazing time, and captaining the Calder team as well has been a massive highlight. You wanted to ask what the challenges were, but I would honestly say that captaining that side is not a challenge at all. I might wear the captain's armband and have that badge, but at the end of the day, all the girls are leaders, all the girls are captains, and we all bring each other up and urge each other to work hard and all that type of thing. And the bond that we have in that Calder team is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. So we want to work hard for each other, and we want to be there for each other. and we also understand constructive criticism. So it's been a blessing, and I'm ready to keep fighting for more. And I hope all those young girls out there just keep dreaming big and working hard.